this is our 70 litre dual zone fridge and slide connected to our auxiliary AGM battery. Just wanted to show very quickly how this is set up. These are Anderson plugs. These are outlets for the battery. So let me just demonstrate how the fridge would connect. You can check on the back here. This is the input from the alternator or the cranking battery, so the car battery that you drive the car with. That connects via a very long cable, which I've run from underneath the bonnet, and it goes through the plastics and out. There's a hole in the side over there, as you can see. That's the cable that runs behind the fridge and up to this point here. So that there is where the input goes to charge the battery, and it goes through the DC to DC charger like such. So this here is an outlet which will allow you to plug the fridge in. So this is the fridge cable on the fridge. You can see the back. The fridge actually also connects via 240 volts, so it does have an outlet for 240 volts, as you can see under there. And there is also a 12 volt cigarette lighter input, which there is a cable for. All right, so that would connect into that one there to allow it to run. The fridge itself, you can connect to Bluetooth on your phone and set up the separate zones. You can allow it to cool down faster or slower using the economy settings. You can set the temperatures on either side. We usually use the one side on the left here. I'll just open it up. These slides are awesome. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. Nope, let me do it. Do it two hands, like such. It just slides out very simply. You can see that comes all the way out. It's an awesome slide. It holds the weight. This is a custom built. We made this framework. It's a little bit rough and ready, but it does the job, and it allows the slide to be bolted down into the chassis as well. All right, so this is we call this the little freezer. It's still a little bit juicy. We'll need to, because we've just come back from our trip, but we'll just mop that out and make sure it's all good. But that's what we use as our freezer, because it's obviously the smaller section. You can see down here there's got the left zone here and the right zone here. Pretty handy. You've also got another 12 volt outlet here, as well as a couple of USB ports, both 5 volt USB ports, which is pretty handy indeed. You've also got USB on the battery, so you've got a couple of USB ports on here, as well as 12 volt outlets. That one there, I've got no clue. Something else. It's a bit weird. Didn't even realise that one was there. Let me see what this one is. Yeah, same again. So that's your it's a locking mechanism in there. So this is the cigarette. Sorry, what do you call it? The 12 volt inlet. This is something different. Not sure exactly what that is. I'll have to find out. Yeah. Anyway, this little voltage meter gives you an idea of how many volts the battery's currently running at, and it gives you a little ready reckoner down here as well. You can see that 12.7 volt is 100%. That's running at 12.8 currently, so it's all good. All right, so this one here is our inverter. It's a 2000 watt inverter, so it'll run a lot of things. Some kettles will run higher than that, and which will mean that it won't allow you to boil some water, which we actually found out this trip, because our little kettle was 2200 watts, so it's just a little bit higher. But this is good to run most things. You just have to check the wattage of the appliance that you're using. If you turn the appliance upside down, it'll generally give you a wattage reading underneath, which will give you an indication straight away whether you can run it or not. But this is an awesome little thing. It's connected to the battery directly, and you just turn it on like that. It's functioning now. Also got a USB port on it as well. But yeah, so that's now ready to run anything that's up to 2000 watts in power. So that's ready to go. All right, I'm at the back of the inverter, and you can see that these cables, so the positive and the negative, connected to the back of the battery. The cables are actually not very long, so what we need to do is I'm going to have to just undo the inverter from the side of this framework. So I just have to disconnect it, and I'm just going to lay it down so that we can get a little bit more leverage, so I can push the battery a little bit forward. So I'll do that now, and then we'll reconvene. Okay, so I've just disconnected the inverter and just laid it down from these bolts. The reason that I want to disconnect from the battery instead of simply just disconnecting from the inverter is that I wanted to remove the power source from these cables. If I undid that first, then there's potential that I might create some sparks and some all sorts of things. So especially with the negative and the positive touch together, then that's just something that I didn't want. So what I'll do now is I'll just go to the front, and I'm just going to push this battery slightly forward so that it is out of the way of the front of the frame, and then I should be able to undo the top of the battery. Alright, so I'm just going to see if I can set this up. Oh, thanks, Bill. I'm just going to undo the top of the battery. So there's this little tab. There's a tab on the front and the back. The back is not, because I've cut some grooves for these two wires, it doesn't actually go in all the way, but the front one does. So it's just a matter of pushing that one up. It's very simple, very straightforward. I'm just going to pop that out of the way a little bit. And should be as you can see there, we've got both. So this is the power that goes from the DC to DC is this one here, and the bottom one is for the inverter. So what we need to do is unplug or unscrew from the negative terminal first. We'll need to unscrew that bolt there, and we'll remove both those terminals. The reason that we're going to remove both of them is that we want to remove the power from the inverter, and we also want to conserve the power of the battery. All right. So let me undo that now. No, it's all right. I'll just undo the terminal. Like such. Maybe it's because of the running the inverter.